When you're blue and kinda lonely too, you'll find a smile will go a long, long way. Though you're down, don't sit around and frown. A little smile will go a long, long way. Never grieve, just try to make believe the sky is blue, although you know it's gray. Don't you find it's just a waste of time? You'll find a smile will go a long, long way.
Time again for Ron and Jen's Great Escape. It's our attempt to turn the news frown upside down. Sounds corny, but at least that's what we're trying to do, right? Because there's so much bad news out there.
Corny?
Yeah. You think it's corny?
I mean, it might be a little nerdy, but...
Nerdy.
But that's okay. So what?
Yes, but that's all right. That's
because,
what the journal said.
yeah. I mean, I think that's what people want. Look at how many people... this is how my brain works. Look at how many people are using record players.
Because it's a warmer time. It's a warmer time. It's a time that means more. It was a nicer time, a more innocent time.
Yeah, it's a throwback. So that's how my brain connects it. So yeah, if it's corny, so be it.
All right, so be it. We're
going to stick with it.
It came, it went, and nobody cared.
What was that?
The Olympics.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, good God in heaven.
Oh my God. I did watch curling. Curling, when they throw that thing.
That's great.
And they go shh, shh, shh.
The only reason we watch curling is we don't understand it. It's great.
I have no idea what the hell's going on.
What the hell is going on there?
I have no clue.
You know what they call that thing that they guide?
No.
The stone.
They call it the Ron.
The stone.
The stone. Well, that makes sense.
How creative.
Yeah, right.
Look at guys with the brooms. Yeah, it's crazy.
Now, how do you determine that you are fit to be an Olympic curler? Because you sweep the ice? Like, how do you get that gig?
That
do you know?
Is one. I'm sure that's one of the sports.
Yeah.
If not the only sport. Well, you really don't have to be in shape. You know, there were curling beer leagues all throughout Canada.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like it's the equivalent of bowling in Canada. It's like, hey, let's all get together once a week.
Yeah.
And they go to the ice rinks and they curl and they drink a lot.
Why is it called curling? Do we know?
Oh, I don't know.
We should know that.
You should.
Maybe I should Google that because it should be called,
brooming.
Ice stone or or brooming, but it's called curling. There's nothing being curled.
That's a good point.
I mean, you order curly fries and they're curly.
That's a good point.
So in curling, nothing's curling. I don't understand.
You need to Google it.
Is this an intellectual conversation?
I think you need to Google it
people
immediately.
Are grasping?
You need to Google it immediately.
He wants me to shut up.
No, I want you to Google where did curling get its...
This is a new phone, so let's see what happens.
Where did curling get its name?
Okay, okay.
Americans didn't seem to be all that interested in the Beijing Olympics anyway, because they had the lowest ever ratings for a Winter Olympics. So NBC took a bath on the Olympics.
Yeah.
But I bet they made a lot of money on the Super Bowl. Now, when we're dropping this, we're recording this, the Super Bowl has not been played yet, all right? This drops on Wednesday after the Super Bowl. So we'll see how much interest there was in the Super Bowl. But it was sold out in terms of advertising dollars.
Yeah.
So they're going to make a lot of money on that. But
boy, our company's stupid.
They're going to drop a lot of dough.
Our company's so stupid. Do they really think? And by the way, did you see some of the Olympians they quarantined, and the food that these people were getting and
awful.
The Instagram videos they were putting out there, crying and isolation.
A lump of rice.
They're getting a lump of rice and a few nuts and a piece of chocolate, and they were starving and losing weight. I mean, and then they had some of the ski jumps or something with the nuke things in the background.
Yeah.
I mean, why would the Olympic Committee ever give Beijing
Right.
Human Rights Violation Center
Bingo.
101?
Right.
Number one.
Human rights violations, complete
number one, not
complete reversal of time zones to take these things in live.
Freezing, P.S.
And lousy
freezing.
Conditions. That was all man-made snow.
Yeah.
Everybody, all the skiers hated it. They were like, this is terrible. It was a bad situation.
Yeah, you want to know about curling?
And it translated into bad ratings. Yes, let's educate ourselves on why it's called curling.
Oh, okay.
Do we know? Or is it just, they call it that because
no, hang on.
Gus said, let's call it curling.
No, I had it, but now keep talking for a second. Okay.
Okay,
The name was derived from the sound of rocks made traveling over the ice. When the game is played outdoors on natural ice, the rocks make a rumbling or growling noise as it travels from the hack to the house. In the old Scottish dialect, this sound was called a cur, leading to the name curling.
Got it. Okay, now it makes a little bit more sense.
I guess.
The game itself
Not
makes
really.
no. The game
I
itself
mean,
makes no freaking sense.
Yeah, I mean,
But at least we found out.
a drinking game makes the Olympics. That's good.
Curr. Oh, listen, curr. So we must be curling because it sounds like curr.
That's good,
So
Ron.
we're curling. Here's what's not good. Delta says, well, actually, I agree with this. Delta says those convicted of disrupting flights should be put on a federal no-fly list.
Oh yeah, I completely agree.
Completely agree with that.
I do.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Because if their behavior, they're gonna behave like that again, especially if they get some cocktails in them.
Yeah.
Put them on the no-fly.
Right. Or
They're dangerous.
And here's the thing: I don't think that everybody should suffer because there's a few, ding-dongs,
Bad apples.
right? Who can't hold their liquor because a lot of people can and enjoy a nice cocktail on a 15-hour flight.
Right.
Okay, but where did the air marshals go? Wasn't there supposed to be at least one dude or chick on every flight?
Well, we're not supposed to know that they're on the
I
flight.
saw bridesmaids. They hide, right? They sit there with their gun in their pants. I seen it. Mm-hmm. It's true.
Well-
No, but for real, I kid.
I'm sure that they're still on most flights.
Well,
if
then
not
how
all.
come they're not, hog tying these? Some lady got her front teeth punched out.
I know.
And
Terrible.
all about wearing a mask.
Terrible.
What?
Now you got
Don't forget the cat story about the person she was breastfeeding her cat.
I don't have that story.
No, remember we did that. Do you remember that story?
No, I thought but that's a story I would remember.
Well, we did do that story, yeah.
Okay, I believe
it was
you.
in Jen's news. Oh, that's what you do during Jen's news. He checks out. That's nice.
Perhaps I was strapping on the instrument at
whatever.
that particular time. But staying with the theme of bad behavior on airlines, one must want to question Southwest Airlines' decision to bring back alcohol service on flights. But as you said, just because some brouillon's horrible behavior, I shouldn't be penalized for some doofus's behavior and I can't have a cocktail on a 15-hour flight. That's horse crap.
Yeah, I mean, it always ends up that way, though. A handful of people do something, so gross or inappropriate, and then the masses get screwed.
We get
And
hosed.
I mean, no, I don't disagree. Or
Let 'em eat
maybe,
cake.
yeah, or maybe they limit the amount of booze. I mean, but let people have a cocktail if they
I
want.
think they should.
Yeah.
So behave, will
Yeah.
you? But I honestly agree with Delta. Put them on the no-fly list.
Yeah.
If their behavior is so bad
Yeah.
that it impacts a flight, it has to be diverted, or put them on the no-fly list, man. They.
But it makes you wonder: is it drugs and alcohol, or just people just really that ignorant?
Yes, yes, and yes.
Yeah, well, and I guess we didn't know how ignorant some people were before because we didn't have this 24-hour news cycle. And over the last 10 years, we started to celebrate ignorant behavior with reality TV and some of the crazy crap that's on
true.
there.
That's true.
That's on there now. So maybe people are looking for their 2 seconds of fame.
Well, we got a great education recently on ignorance
I don't know.
with Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah. Yeah.
You think she's going to be back? Would they suspend her for 2 weeks?
Well, this one is tough to say. And I have to say, some of the comparisons, do I think she's going to be back? Yes. And when she gets back, she's going to rip ABC. She's going to rip everybody. She's just going to rip. Do I think that she should be back? No, and here's why. Not necessarily because of what she said, because if ABC stays consistent with their pattern of giving people punishments, they fired Roseanne from her sitcom for tweeting something.
Yeah.
And so I just think that everybody's going to get fired or nobody's going to get fired. What's happening is over there, some people get a suspension, some people get fired, some people get a slap on the wrist because of your political inclination. And I think that's wrong. So do I think she'll be back? Yes. Do I think she should be? No.
Do you think I'll ever watch that show?
No.
No. Okay.
No, I don't. I mean, that show, I just don't get it. It says, The View.
It's
It should
view.
be their view.
Their view.
Because, and their view, and underneath it, because everybody else is wrong, and your view is bad.
How about we call it their convoluted view?
Yeah, well, just their view. I mean, and the thing is...
It's not my view, and so it should not be the view. It's
their
view.
Right.
I like that.
Yeah, but see, and the other funny thing is the irony of this. They go on and give their view, but then they don't want anybody opposing
Right.
or things that they oppose to have their view. So it's just, the world is crazy right now, which is why Gumby is riding on the back of a duck. Why not?
We have a Gumby story coming up in just a little bit.
Oh, we do.
Remember, was it a couple of years back now? I think it is. I think it's pre-pandemic when the news broke about Ellen's show having a real toxic environment in the background, right?
Well, Billy... Oh,
it's over 2 years, right?
Billy somebody. I can't remember his last name. He is a famous Broadway guy. And
Billy Budd?
No, Billy, it'll come to me.
Right.
But anyway, he was the one who started. He did an interview with somebody, and he basically said, Ellen's a bitch. When I went to her show, she was dismissive. She talked down to me, and he said all these things encapsulated in a statement that didn't say all those things, but said all those things. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. And so that, and all of a sudden, others started coming forward and saying how wicked, not like the devil, but just what a witch she is.
Well, apparently they feel a lot of the employees behind the scenes.
Billy Porter.
Billy Porter.
Billy Porter. That's who it is.
Apparently, a lot of the people, the employees behind the scene of the Dr. Phil show, say that's a very toxic workplace too.
Yeah.
So that's one to keep an eye on. Current and former employees sounding off about Dr. Phil, saying that they were victims of verbal abuse in the workplace. So maybe this is going to come to bite Dr. Phil in the ass.
Hey, how about Dr. Oz running for Congress?
Yeah, how about that?
I mean, that guy.
What's he a doctor of? Do we know?
I don't know. But he is a real doctor, unlike Dr. Phil.
Yeah. Oh, no.
No, Dr. Phil's not a real doctor, but Dr. Oz
is the real deal.
And they say that he Dr. Oz ain't gonna make it because he made a few political missteps.
Yeah. So, hey, Moviepass is coming back. Remember that? Moviepass.
What is that?
It's one of these deals where if you subscribe to Moviepass, you can go to the theater X amount of times a month. It's almost like Netflix in a real theater.
Oh.
Going to see the movies.
I never knew about that.
Yeah, so it might be coming back, but
Okay.
I believe it went bankrupt initially, but they're trying to figure out how to bring it back. Are you ready to go back into theaters to see movies?
I've already been.
Have you?
Yeah.
That's true. That's right. What did you go see? I forgot.
I went to see...
It's like that Kung Fu 3D thing, wasn't it?
I went to see, on my birthday, the 3D... I don't even know what it was called. It was a Marvel...
Yeah.
Shang something or another.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really good. And then on Christmas, I went to see... I loved it. Sing 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was really, really a fun day. So I love going to the movies.
You know what looks really good?
What?
The Batman.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the Agatha Christie with Kenneth Branagh. That's my next. I'm going to see that soon.
No.
Yeah.
No. Murder on the Orient Express.
Midnight. No, I already saw that.
Yeah,
this
that was
one
terrible.
is Death on the Nile.
Yeah, but Murder on the Orient Express sucked.
It was just okay. Yeah, it was a great cast, but it was just okay.
That's like that movie Knives Out, where you thought it was going to be great because of the cast, and it sucked.
Okay. Yeah.
It was awful.
But I'm going to give it a go. I like the cast of this Death on the Nile. I'll see what happens there.
The Batman looks
It's
violent.
3 hours.
It's closing in on 3. Most movies now are closing in
I
on
won't
3
go
hours.
see that.
You're not going to go see the Batman?
No, I don't. It's violent like that. I don't watch stuff like that anymore.
The Batman. Yeah. And lastly, we talk about the before we go to Jen's news. Before we talk about the Olympics tank, and how about cable news networks? And I think it's because of burnout. I think it's a burnout. I think people are just so burned out on bad news, just negative stuff over and over and over again.
You really think that's the thing?
I think that's one of the driving forces.
Yeah, I was going to say. I think that people. They're sick of being lied to. I saw a bumper sticker that I love the other day. It said defund the media. I thought that was great.
Yeah,
I laughed. I laughed. I thought it was great.
I laughed. I cried.
It was better than Cats.
Fox Business down 47%. CNN down 40%. Fox News down 35%.
Yeah.
MSNBC down 29% and CNBC down 19% overall.
Yeah.
And a lot of the blame on declining viewership, burnout could have a lot to do with it. Unrelenting negative news, people, how much can they take? So anyway, that's that. So the Olympics stunk the joint out. And we didn't find out if Hazel picked the Super Bowl winner.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because we did that. We're going to put that up on our Facebook page to see if she was successful or not. But by now we'll know because this drops on the Wednesday after the Super Bowl.
Okay.
And if you want to get in touch with Jen, or if you want to get in touch with me, you do it through her, at jenbrian@rocketmail.com.
Yeah.
Make sure you follow our weekly commentary column, which is in rinewstoday.com. It's every Wednesday. It's our take on multiple issues.
Yeah.
And lastly, don't forget this coming Saturday, we premiere Terrestrial Radio. We are back. 1540 WADK. That's 101. That's 100.1 FM. But we really want to point out that wherever you go, take us with you wherever you go, Saturdays between 1 and 3 p.m., because all you got to do is log on to the listening live, WADK.com.
Very
Boom.
easy, guys.
Yep, you can listen on your desktop if you're working. You can listen on your phone. And
they got a phone bank. You can call us.
And you can call us.
Yeah, we're excited about that.
We're very excited, and we're looking forward to talking with you.
Yeah.
Not talking at you, but talking with you.
That's right.
All right. Now we turn to Jen's news.
Yes, we do.
All right.
What's my theme?
With no theme song.
Well, yeah,
we got to get back to using an instrument.
I know.
Having me
lazy.
doing Jen's news, yeah. No,
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
Yeah, but I like that. That makes me happy.
That's a disservice to the people that watch the podcast or listen to the podcast.
Well, do it again.
Jen's news, yeah.
Yeah, it's America's favorite segment.
All right.
It's time for what is it, Ron?
Jen's news.
Jen's news. Yeah.
How about
Thank
this?
you.
How about this story?
All right, did you guys hear the latest about Betty White?
Not the fact that she died.
Nope.
No. This story kind of bothered me.
A former casting director says that. Now, I mean, listen, she can't defend herself.
There you go.
So I don't know why he didn't say this before, but a former casting director says the Golden Girls cast didn't love Betty White.
Say it ain't so.
That's right. Betty White was loved by so many, but supposedly not by some of her castmates. Casting director for the show, Joel Thurm, is spilling all the details now that she's dead. He shared, literally, B. Arthur, who I cast in something else later on, just said, "Oh, she's a bleeping bleep." And the first word began with an F, and the second word began with a C.
And neither one are we going to share with you.
Yeah, and then added, "I heard it with my own ears."
Or ear balls.
Yes.
As Penny Crone
Joel
would say.
also spilled that another castmate, Rue McClanahan, also called White the C word.
No.
Why was there so much tension, you might ask? Joel had some examples to share. For one, Estelle Getty was losing her memory and needed some help remembering her lines, he recalls, and she would write the lines on her hand. Betty White would make fun of her in front of the live audience.
Really?
That may seem like a minor transgression, but it really does get to you. I have no idea how Estelle Getty felt, but I know the other two did not like Betty.
Wow.
At all.
Wow. But as you said, she can't protect herself
Nobody
from the grave.
said this when she was alive.
They're all dead. And every cast member's dead.
I mean, why didn't he say this when she was alive?
Yeah. Every cast member's dead.
So there you go. That's the latest Betty White news. Fox has bought the rights to Gumby. Gumby.
I'm
the
Gumby, damn it.
The company announced that it has acquired all rights to the classic Clay character and all his friends. They plan to develop a new animated series along with live action content. So what that means is, people, if you watch SpongeBob SquarePants, do you ever watch that?
No.
Oh, I do. No. So I love it. Right? So SpongeBob and Squidward. So anyway, sometimes it's a cartoon, and then other times there's live people.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the people who do the voice of the cast, they show up in outfits as pirates and stuff.
Okay.
So there you go. Okay. And Tom Brady is back in the news, and the story I have is basically Aaron Rodgers, you guys know this by now, edged out Tom Brady for the NFL MVP. Okay, but look, this is getting to be, I don't know if Tom Brady, and Ron, you can tell people, I have been, as long as you have known me, a die-hard Pats fan, have I not?
Yes.
I always will be. I love the Patriots. I loved Tom Brady for the longest time. I loved how he took less money to play for the team so that they could get, whatever they needed, and Bill Belichick and the whole thing, and I loved it. Tom Brady, first of all, I didn't understand Man in the Arena. The guy hasn't retired. He's not dead, and I'm not interested in watching something about him while he's still playing.
Yeah,
I mean,
fair.
I'm just saying. I mean, maybe in 20 years, when I'm in my 70s and I'm sitting in a rocking chair and I want to remember Tom Brady, I'll watch. It too soon, I thought.
Too soon. And
then the whole hoopla around, is he retiring? Isn't he retiring? Is he retiring? Isn't he retiring? He's not retiring. His father coming out. Tommy's not retiring. He didn't say so. Okay, and then a day later, on Instagram, I am retiring. And then he does an interview 3 days later that says, well, I wouldn't rule out a comeback. Ron, what the hell?
Never say never, he said.
What the hell?
How can we miss you if you don't go away?
It's like Cher. Her goodbye tour went on for 3 years. Then she retired for something like 1 or 2. And then she did the comeback tour. And then she did another she's leaving tour. You know, this is it kind of thing. Like the Michael Jackson one. This is it. I mean, what is wrong with Tom Brady?
I don't think there's anything wrong with him. I think he just wants to be the center of attention all the time.
And then Edelman says, I wouldn't, I wouldn't, Edelman, who's a good friend of his, says, yeah, he'll probably. So it's just kind of like, Tom, what are you doing? Because right now you're annoying and you seem a little bipolar to me. And, I'm just sick of talking.
You big baby.
I'm sick of talking about it. Then why are you talking about it?
Because I was just going to ask that question.
Yeah, well, because it's just kind of like, what are you doing, Tom? Retire and go away, or become a commentator or something, or analyst, an analyst, as somebody I know used to say, or keep playing until you can't play anymore. But
I mean,
do you know how many people went out and bought his jersey and bought memorabilia and did all kinds of stuff because they thought he was retired?
Yeah.
I mean, was that a money grab? Because it feels really, I don't know, gross.
I think that the fact that we weren't talking as much about the pairings of the two teams in the Super Bowl, that he took a lot of the attention away from that, and I think that's unfair. I mean, he's had his time in the light. Let the babies drink the milk. And we'll move on from there.
I'm off my soapbox.
All right.
Stop talking about something you say you don't want to talk about.
She got that off her chest.
Yeah.
The most admired companies in the world. All right, let's take a look at this. Fortune magazine, they should know what they're talking about, right? Just came out with the list of the world's most admired companies.
Yeah.
And then what are you going to talk about? Do you have a food or... No, you're going to talk about a pet story, aren't you?
My final story
Which
today...
grabbed my interest. I thought that was a great story.
Oh, that's not it.
It's a warm your heart kind of story.
Here we go.
Warm your heart story.
Yeah.
Fortune's top 10 most admired companies.
It's not a warm your heart story. It's how to get laid.
Oh, it's the wrong one.
Yeah,
I see. Okay.
I got it. Excuse me, that was very crass.
I got it.
But I'm speaking in secular vernacular.
Fortune's top 10 most admired companies. Apple comes in at number 10. J.P. Morgan Chase is 9th. Netflix, interesting, is 8th. Here's one you'll like. Starbucks at number 7. What's Alphabet? What is that company?
Oh, that's Google.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah, I own some Google stock.
Okay, that's 6th.
I've had it for 15 years. I don't know where it went or how much I own or...
All right.
It's somewhere out there.
Obviously, it's in a safe place. That's good to hear.
Microsoft and Nike, too. I don't know where any of it is.
And rounding out the top 5, Berkshire Hathaway. Walt Disney World at number 4. Walt Disney, I should say.
Yeah.
How about this? Pfizer at number 3. Microsoft is 2nd, and Amazon, which wants to own the world, comes at number 1 as Fortune's top most admired companies. Notice what you don't see in the top 10. And I would guess in the top 20, 50, 100.
What's that?
Any broadcast company.
I was going to say Capital TV.
Capital TV. Let's bring up Capital TV, see how they're voting right now.
Yeah, I shouldn't have said that, how to get laid. That's not very...
No, basically
edifying.
it is how to get laid as we move into
I'm just
this.
keeping it real. But sometimes I should watch what I say.
How about a romantic matchup? You like that better?
But that's a lie. Because the truth of the matter is, if we cut through... Yeah, if we slice through the BS, basically this story is about how to get laid. I can't do the story yet.
Gumby.
You have to say goodbye.
What do you mean?
Are we done?
No, you're going to do that story, and I'm going to play the instrument.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You haven't figured out how the format works
you're
by
not
now?
putting your device
I am.
on.
If you open your mouth and start talking.
Oh, all right. Having a dog.
Jesus. Jesus H. Christ.
Hey.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Having a dog in your dating profile photo, people, increases your chances of a romantic match. All right? You may want to include a dog, guys and gals, and them and they, and everybody. We want to include it. We're inclusive. Include everybody. Include your dog in your next dating profile photo. Pet Care Marketplace, Rover, recently surveyed more than 1,000 people, pet owners who had used dating apps, and found 76% say they would be more likely to match with someone who featured a dog in their photos or bio. Hey!
Speaking of,
come here, come see me. Hazel's in the house. Come here, come see me. Come here. She's not coming out. Okay. It's help. There's Hazel. Hazel is right here. Hi, sweetheart. Yes. So, the dog breed singles deemed most likely to positively influence our golden retrievers, Labradors, Cockapoos, Cocker Spaniels, and Border Collies.
So Hazel's in that category. She's hey,
Hazel
Hazel.
boy, is she excited. Did you have a good one?
She went for a WALK.
Her breath, Ron. Her breath. Lord have mercy.
You know what? We did a Listerine story in the last podcast. Maybe we can work on the breaths.
Yes, you can put a dab it on her bum.
Join us this Saturday.
Remember, you could do that too?
Yes. Join us this Saturday.
She doesn't brush her teeth.
It's our first terrestrial. We're back on 1540 AM WADK, and you can follow us online at WADK.com wherever you journey. Saturdays 1 till 3, and we'll talk to you next week.
You'll find a smile will go a long, long way.